when the markets are down, one of the good books to read is Galbraith's book on called The Short History of Financial Euphoria. It's a good book because it will also make you, I mean, devil takes the hind most or something. I have not read, I don't remember the title of the book. Reading all those books which teach you that the market is a roller coaster. Our own Amit Trivedi's book also, roller coaster just tells you that the market goes up and down. I disagree with Amit Trivedi when he says it's a roller coaster, because a roller coaster, you know, when you're very scared, all you have to do is close your eyes, and 5 minutes the ride is over and it drops you back exactly where it picked you from. Unfortunately, the markets are not like a roller coaster with a defined pattern. It's like a roller coaster. It could leave you in the lurch somewhere. It could leave you at the top, or it could drop you at the bottom. It could do anything, and it could just stay there for a very long period of time. It could take you to the top and stay there, and you believe that it is permanently going to be there, and then one day you come down with a thud. All these things happen. So Galbraith's book, which is a short history of financial euphoria, I don't agree with all that JKG said, but yeah, some of the things which he has said is so beautiful, and it could be a reading for some of you, and it could be a rereading for some of the others. In one of my blogs on subramani.com, in the list of books that I have recommended, obviously Galbraith's book is there, because he is also a good writer apart from being a good thinker. So let me read some of the things that he talks about. That euphoria episodes are as normal in the stock market as anything else, right? So we all have seen that whenever the markets are high, we tend to go overboard and say, let me sell off my shirt, pant, house, and put everything in equity markets. It does it because it suddenly makes you feel richer, and we somehow are in such a possession oriented feeling that we think the more money we have, the better we are, because we think people who have money are rich and intellectual, etc., happy. We associate money with happiness. Please understand that Musk is paying 2 alimony, right? So I'm sorry, I'm digressing. So features of the speculative means what really happens when there is speculation. So what happens in a speculation is people develop some kind of a fancy for a particular idea. You cannot do anything to stop the price or the momentum price relationship, and it keeps taking the price up. So whether it is tulip mania of the 16th century, I'm not very sure about the dates, or whether it is the PSU valuation simply because PSUs are going to get divested, or sudden craze today you see in the Tata Group shares, where anything in the name of Tata is going up. I have no clue why it is happening, but that is what happens in a speculative thing. You can't explain and you cannot time it in the short run. So the best thing you can do is stay away, and if you're part of the momentum, to come out of it. But it is very difficult because every day that you buy, the market is telling you you're smarter, see the price has gone up, and every day that you sell, you're being made to look like an idiot because the market has gone up the next day. So your wife, your daughter, and everybody is telling you, look, I told you not to sell, and I told you to buy. This is a market when you are not, you are scared. So understand that this is what happens in case of speculative idea. So you have to be careful about what to do with this kind of speculative market. I would stay away. I would book my profits at least partially. But remember, I'm overall 80-90% in equity. So for me, that doesn't change much. And I easily have a 20-year view. I can take a dividend view. I can do all those things. But I will keep booking profits. So if I've sold Maruti, I've sold Tata Motors, I'm booking my profits, whether it is short-term speculative profit or even a part of my long-term portfolio. I am doing that. So what happens is, first of all, understand that people have very short financial memories. When you're speculating now, you completely forget that there was a dot-com boom. Or forget going back to 1929 and worrying about the recession. You even forget that in March 2020, the market fell, right? And the market recovered quickly. So don't believe the market will always recover quickly. Sometimes it will take 5 years to recover, right? So second, stop associating people with money as being very intelligent and aspire to be like them. I wish I'm like them because they are rich, they must be intelligent and they must be happy. Not true, right? It's not always intelligence. It's at the right time at the right place. People born in the 50s and 60s and perhaps even early 70s were just lucky to be there at the start of the tech boom, and so all of them got shares at 10 rupees. Today it is all SEBI pricing, so today making money in ESOP is almost impossible, right? Or at least very, very, very difficult, if not impossible. You make money because you get a lot of ESOP. You don't make money because ESOPs are very well priced. ESOPs are priced as per the SEBI law, so there's not much money left. And it's not I'm not saying to earn money you don't need intelligence. Of course you need intelligence, of course you need asset allocation, you need all that, but don't aspire for that, because equity is a very bad asset class in terms of kindling your greed, right? So speculative, that is also a problem. And we look at a new opportunity and say, this is the way to make money. Here is Bitcoin, here is crypto. So here you put money, my friend put 50 lakhs, it has become 22 crores or whatever number, and say, wow, this is the way to go about it. So I put 5 lakhs, it will become 2 crores. What's so bad? I put 50 lakhs, it will become 22 crores, right? So my 5 lakhs can become 2 crores. That's a fantastic way. In 3 years he has made this money, in 2 years he has made this money, right? So we will tend to ignore the past. We will tend to we forget that we all are suffering from financial dementia. So what should you do? Stay calm, learn meditation, put your head not on so much of an overdrive of equity or quick get rich quick kind of things. Be aware that the markets are not really low. This is not a great market to be investing for the long run. Understand all this, put all this together, and then create your portfolio. Don't get carried away. Having said that, let me also tell you that even if I am moving into cash, I may just move from 95% equity to 88% equity or something like that. My life is different. Don't try to copy what I am doing. I'm doing what I am doing because I know that the amount of money that I have in debt will take care of me for the next 10 to maybe 15 years. My dividend income is more than my household expenses. So I don't have to really worry that the markets may fall, but I don't think dividends will crash. So if dividends crash, I have my debt backup. So please understand that I have created some of these backups, and then I am doing whatever I am doing. So find out in what position you are, what is your good asset allocation, what is your so based on your risk profile, your asset allocation, your need for money in the next 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 3 years, based on all that, build your portfolio. Don't get carried away by this euphoria. There is euphoria in the market, there is no doubt about that. There is euphoria not only in the US market, in Indian market, maybe it is spreading to other markets. Be careful about it. Go for multi asset portfolio. Maybe a little bit of debt, which is a short-term debt, maybe some long-term debt. Maybe you'll make money in the long-term debt after interest rate goes up a little and then comes down. Maybe an SIP into a gilt fund, whatever it is. Taking money off the table in these markets is not a bad idea at all. I am doing it. It takes tremendous amount of, my broker has to use 16 horses to allow me to sell some things in which I am making money. The lovely feeling that increasing net worth happens because of my own investing. It's not my own investing, it is just frenzy in the market. So every day all I have to do is log in and see my net worth go up. Life is so simple, right? It's not. When there is a fall, there will be hurt. When the roller coaster stops, there will be hurt, because this roller coaster called the market does not stop at the place where it started. It reaches to completely different levels and can completely leave you in the dark, right? Thank you.